Okay, this is part two of the playtest of Beach Blanket Body Bag. I'm not going to do any kind of major recapping except to say that Chet Hollister has been killed in a grim echo of last year's events because you had another friend, Darla Sunset, who ended up dead. And you all are trying to figure out what happened to Chet, either because you're going to use it to avenge Chet, or you're going to just use that information to survive the night and then tell the authorities what happened. We gathered a few clues already, and we have seen pretty much the beach and everything kind of down by the beach. And now the characters are hiking up the pine forest trail, and you've been hiking on the trail for a minute now. At this point, it's kind of late afternoon. There's still sunlight filtering through dense branches overhead, sort of dappling the dirt path with shifting patterns. Pine needles cushion your footsteps, and there is a quite fresh, invigorating scent of resin. Um, let's paint the scene, everyone. This is a place of tranquility and natural beauty, and yet, what small details along the trail hint at the wild nights and youthful mischief of previous year's visitors?
The ground is positively littered with condom wrappers.
I think in and amongst the branches, we see shoes tied together and kind of lobbed over and kind of dangling there, but they're all mismatched pairs.
And one of those pairs of shoes or mismatched pairs of shoes tied together looks a little bit odd until you realize it's actually a set of bra and knickers tied together and thrown over a branch.
Decky, this is a new location, the Pine Trail, if you want to use Pipeline.
I would love to use pipeline. What is about to happen?
Someone is going to get injured or worse because of nature.
Never trust
Fall,
nature.
a slip, something falling on them. Why do you think that?
The trail is not very well maintained. Clearly, the only people that come up this way are party goers, and they're probably intoxicated when they do, so they're not focused on cutting back the branches and making sure that the trail is cleared of debris. It is just full of broken branches and twisted roots and other hazards. And I think I'm getting a little nervous as we walk up it.
Yeah, I think there's like I'd like to suggest that like we maybe see Hambone like going into his seemingly inexhaustible pack of food, and he kind of like steps funny and like kind of slips a little bit on like a loose like a branch or something, barely catches his his footing. And Candy has chosen to wear like quite high-heeled sandals, like kind of like cork wedge sandals, and is sort of like it's not ideal for hiking on the pine trail. Um, Moondog is still playing his music, and so if you were trying to be, kind of sneaky, that's blown. Um, the dogs, of course, are doing what they do. Bongo thinks this is just a great adventure, and Tiki is sort of like digging through underbrush. And Ripcord, you hardly ever see Ripcord; he's always ahead of you. Bobby, this was your idea. You're ostensibly in the front. What are you doing right now?
Walking further ahead than and I kind of imagine that I'm looking back and seeing Ducky with maybe a dowsing rod or something like following behind or with a crystal dangled out. But I'm leading, but I've also been told in no uncertain terms that I'm in no way in charge. So I'm technically in front, but I'm not leading everyone else. But I think that I've been paying enough attention to notice that the underfoot conditions are like a kind of a maze of rabbit warrens and kind of where other mustelids lurk, and have been kind of dodging it, but not in any way telling people behind me that there's kind of unsure footing ahead. Just generally kind of focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can do the meddling move with it's either reason or composure. I'm going to say composure. Let me take a look at your conditions too. Infuriated, humiliated. I don't think those will apply. You can just
7.
7. I think you are. I'd like to suggest that like you and Candy are have kind of like moved ahead of the group a little bit. You all kind of like spread out in a line and kind of bounce back and forth. And Candy is kind of saying to you from like maybe 10 or 15 feet back, Bobby, I'm really sorry about that back there. I I hope you weren't too embarrassed.
No, it was genuinely so funny. I thought it was hilarious, and you could tell everyone else they were laughing so hard, and they were kind of pointing. And I think that they really got what we were going for. That kind of that little bit that we did. And I think a lot of people will be talking about that for some time, but for all the right reasons, obviously.
Yeah, it was just like a little joke. That's exactly how you should think about it.
Oh, you should absolutely too. And if at any point you kind of want to give that ring back, then that's absolutely fine.
Oh, but it looks so nice on my hand. Maybe we could just keep the joke going for a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah. I think everyone's getting a real kick out of it. Look, I can see them laughing now.
What is it? I am curious about the thoughts on that. Like, I think Hambone, I think is ever the like peacemaker and trying to like make sure that it was just I'm sure it was not a serious thing, that kind of thing. Moondog, of course, has already made a speech about like, just how presumptuous of Bobby to think that Candy would want to do something like that, right? Like as if it was on his timeline and not hers. And what do you think, Marcia, Decky?
Ducky thinks that Bobby has kind of lost it with the pressure that of the situation that we're under, that completely lost all concept of appropriate time and space. People when they're grieving, they do really weird things, and I think that Bobby, being a weird person, just went extra weird off the deep end.
Marsha thinks like rich people, their lives are just so different. It's really hard to understand how their brains work. But I guess they just get married so they can like combine their richness and become richer, I guess. But I think it would have been weird if Candy had said yes. Like, would have been weird. So it's good she didn't. I think it would have been weird.
At this point, Bobby and Candy are no longer in eyesight. You know they're up ahead, but you can't see them. And Bobby, at a certain point, Candy says, "Oh, I'm glad we worked this out, Bobby. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go use the little girl's room." And she kind of walks off the trail into the woods. I owe you a clue, of course, but there's a complication with said clue. And that complication comes in the form of you hearing, everyone hearing actually, but you're nearby, Bobby, Candy scream. What do you do?
This feels like a moment for Snaps to run foolhardily in like after her.
You run in the direction she went, and you realize that she has slipped and fallen off a ridge. And you're looking down at her broken body at the bottom of the ridge. She's twisted and busted, and you can see the diamond ring still glittering in the dapple sunlight. Everyone else hears the scream and says, and Hambone says, "Oh, we better go see what that is." And the dogs and everybody, they're all kind of running toward there. What are the two of you doing?
Oh, Marsha's running too, and she's going, "Oh, it's the monster! The monster's got someone else!" And she's running towards it.
I think I'm also running towards the commotion, but I'm looking around to see if there was I'm a little concerned about this monster business, but I'm looking around to see if there's anybody, in the forest in following us. This seems really strange that we've been in the forest for 5 minutes and something terrible is
Well,
already
you've been in
happening.
the forest for quite a while, actually. I'd
Oh,
say about an
okay.
hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, we'll get to that in a moment. Snaps, you can save her with the red star, of course, or we can play it out like this with everyone running up to the ridge and watching you looking down at her busted body.
Now, what would a rich asshole do to someone who just made him look like a fool in a group setting? I will put on the mask. I think I'll burn the red star.
Indeed. It says, narrate a flashback to that first day on the beach last year. Something happened between Darla and someone else at the beach party. Her actions caused someone to stomp off in anger. What happened? And then Michelle and Amanda, you should describe what happened from your character's perspective. So whenever you're ready to do that, Matt, you can. But for now, I still owe you your clue. But for now, you are running up to the ridge and you see Candy hanging on about 10, 15 feet down the side of the cliff, hanging on to like a little root that's sticking out. Everyone else is kind of like, rushing up there. Candy says, "Help me! Help me!" And you can all kind of see what's going on. What do you all do?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Bobby, was it the monster? Did the monster push her over?
Do you push her?
No.
Did you push her?
I believe you would do that. Here,
I
quickly,
think
quickly, grab the end of this, and I'm gonna pull my hammock out of my beach bag,
Oh, good.
in hopes that it'll be, if it's long enough to string between two trees and a person to lie in it, it's definitely gonna be long enough to reach down to her.
Let's do the day move. What do you think is going to happen if you fail?
She's gonna fall to her death.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. You do get advantage if you mark your hammock. I assume that's one of your beach bag items.
It is, yes.
And yeah, let me take a look at your conditions. You don't have any conditions, so yeah, you can certainly roll with advantage.
Fantastic.
It'll be
I imagine
vitality.
this is vitality.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
That's a 12.
Nice. Go ahead and describe how you rescue Candy.
I think this is actually a group effort because it's very difficult to pull somebody up from a ledge when the gravity is working against you. And I think we all sort of grab hold of one end of the hammock, the rope end, and we all are kind of heave-hoeing our way as we lower it down and yell to Candy, grab the end, grab the end. And I think after some she's pretty scared. I think she's afraid to let go of one hand off the branch, but I think she eventually, realizing that she is losing her grip, she does grab the rope, wraps it around her arms, holds on for dear life as we heave her up over the edge of the ravine.
Candy, clearly very shaken and like grateful to be alive, like comes up and she like puts her arms around you, Ducky, and she begins like just frantically like kissing you on the cheek, like, "Oh my God, thank you, thank you."
It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. Listen, let's just maintain some distance. Get
Moondog
some
says,
breathing.
"Did Bobby push you?" and and Candy goes, "No, no, no. I, uh, I lost my footing. The ground gave way. Thank you. Oh, I saw my life flash before my eyes. And it was such a great life." To think I
Ev-
might not have gotten to experience it all.
I think everyone needs to watch where they're going and pay really close attention. Maybe I should lead, and I do pull out a dowsing rod that I have made from a stick, like it's a branch. Maybe I should lead. This will help us find the safe way.
I owe you a bonus on your 12 plus. And I will tell you that Candy says, guys, there's something down there in the ravine. I I saw it while it was hanging there. I looked down and there's like a I don't know, like and then she kind of like will kind of carefully like go over to the edge of the ravine and point down. There's like a little hole, like a little cave down there. And there's like something glimmering. There's light.
Well, if there's someone down there has to be a way for them to get up, right?
At this point, Snaps grabs the end of the hammock and starts lowering himself down and
You're,
saying, "I'll don't worry, guys, I'll see to this."
let me give you your clue. Something you will have noticed, maybe as you were kind of maybe you picked it up right before you heard Candy scream. There is a stone, a polished stone. It's very cold to the touch. I mean, this is a warm summer day, and this stone is very cold. And it's inscribed with a symbol you don't recognize. So, Bobby, you are going to try to scale down the ravine. Interesting. In order to get down to the bottom?
To get down as far as be able to see what's where this cave leads to, or if there even is a cave.
I mean, we could do a day move to get all the way down there if you want.
I'm into it.
Go ahead and, well, tell me what could go wrong here.
I could end up a mangled heap of vaguely human-shaped bones
Hmm.
and hands. But I think that the effort to hold me onto the side of this ravine will probably be less enthusiastic than the effort to pull Candy back up, I would imagine.
I mean, I think I think this is going to be a vitality roll. I think that it's going to be with. I don't think either of your conditions will apply here. I think the dangers are pretty clear. um, do you happen to have something from your beach bag that would help you in addition to the hammock? I mean, the
Not unless
hammock
I'm
doesn't.
gonna eat, not unless I'm gonna eat this hashish or read a like a dirty mag on the way down. But yeah, but no, I'm raw dogging this as it
So
were.
the idea is to like tie off the hammock, climb down a little bit, and then just like scale down the rest of the way. Okay,
Yeah,
let's have the die roll.
9.
9. Um, I think it's going to work. Mostly okay. I do think you kind of slip about the last like 10 feet or so. And when you hit the ground, you get kind of bruised up. And you will take a bruised up condition.
Does that just replace
Oh,
a condition or?
you have two conditions already. You are going to have to clear one of your choice and then mark the red star.
I think that this bold action might clear infuriated. I think I'd still like to be humiliated. Why not?
Very good.
And then another. Sorry, guys, I'm burning through this red star.
Um, Now that Bobby's done it once, if everybody else wants to climb down there, you certainly can, or we can let Bobby do this on his own.
I think Marsha, when she saw what Bobby was doing, was like, "Oh, and she's looked around and she spots Ripcord,
Yeah.
And she runs over to him. For some reason, she takes a route which involves getting between Ducky and Candy. And she runs over to Ripcord. She's like, she's figured out if Bobby's going away from the pack, Ripcord's gonna follow, and he can probably find a way down that doesn't involve climbing for
Ah,
everyone.
very good. Oh, that's good. I actually like that a lot. I think that'd be hilarious if Ripcord like finds like a switchback that goes down into the little ravine. So everybody else can get down there safely. I even like the idea of like Moondog arriving right as Bobby falls, right? You know, like on the ground. Oh, poor Bobby, poor Snabs. You have to mark another red star, which is narrate a flashback to last year's party when an argument broke out between Darla and the group. What did the group accuse Darla of doing? Everyone else should say whether they believed the group's accusation or whether they were just going along with the crowd and why. So we have a deepening story with Darla here, and you get to kind of guide it, Matt, because you've chosen, you've had to mark both spots. So let's pick up this next moment. You're all down in this little like yeah, there's like a little tunnel that kind of goes into the side of the cliff face. It's unclear if the tunnel is man-made or not. It's roughly hewn at the very least. And there is light coming from it's a flickering light, so it must be like candlelight ahead. A bit of a weird situation. Ripcord won't go in. Tiki and Bongo don't care. They go in just fine. But Ripcord like is like sitting outside the cave mouth. And kind of there's a low growl in his chest. What do you all do?
I think Mash is like patting Ripcord, trying to. It's like, it's okay, boy. I think he wants to stay out here so he can make sure we're safe while we're inside. What a good boy. And then
Yeah,
she's gonna follow the other two dogs in.
indeed. Ducky, you going in?
Dogs have a very innate sense of safety and their surroundings and the environment. So if these two dogs are going in and Ripcord's staying out, then it's got to be safe because otherwise the dogs will stay outside. So yeah, and I think the dowsing rod is pointing towards the cave anyway.
Oh, very good.
I'm breathing in the air from the cave. I am experiencing the spirits, the cave spirits as they overwhelm me. And I think, yeah, I'm definitely going to go in the cave.
This is
It
a new
feels safe.
location.
What's gonna happen?
Give me one moment. I gotta find it on the on my sheet here. You are each going to be you are each going to be presented with another path. You keep going. The little tunnel doesn't go very far before you find yourselves in a room. This has clearly been constructed. The walls of this room are lined with faceted glass panels arranged carefully to refract light in strange patterns and rainbow colors. The air is really cold here, heavy with humidity and charged, making the hairs on your arms stand up. You can hear a low, resonant hum from beneath the marble floor. A sort of let's paint the scene. As the shifting colors wash over you, what visions do they conjure that give a glimpse of an alternate path your life could take?
there's a flash in Snaps's mind, and at first it feels like a warm, comforting thing. It's of he and Candy sat at a dinner table, older, in a picture perfect white picket fence home. But as the shifting colors kind of reveal more detail, we see a smashed plate of spaghetti against the wall, and Bobby crying, and Candy reaching for a carving knife.
It's another white picket fence in front of a beautiful 3-bedroom detached house. And there's nice looking cars on the driveway. And one's just pulling out, and a yellow school bus is stopping to pick up 2 smiling children. And Marsha's standing at the door, waving and smiling. And as they pull away, she just stops and stands and stares straight forwards.
We cut to a rundown building in a pre-gentrified city center. It is the main floor is boarded up. The top floor with its small windows, you see a tarot readings and a bright fluorescent sign. As we go in, it has the traditional beaded doorway, and inside there is a rather large, ornate, but dusty and not well kept shrine to Chet. There's his picture and burnt out candles. And we see an older Ducky, hair stringy and matted and gray, as she feverishly pores over tarot cards.
I will tell you that Moondog has a tear streaking his cheek as he sees whatever visions he sees. Candy, as well, she has kind of like a delirious, happy look on her face. And Hambone, you can hear him whisper so just quiet under his breath, "That's the most beautiful burrito I've ever seen." Even Tiki and Bongo, I don't think they really know how to process what they're seeing, but they are like kind of sitting with their paws crossed, like staring into these strange panels of glass. You can eventually all kind of snap out of it. This is a strange space. Who even knows how it got here, why it's here? I don't think we've quite reached the level of the day or night move yet, but I am curious what everyone's doing.
I'm getting out another satchel of grass to burn. Clearly, there is negative energy in here. We've been warned by the spirits of the cave to make sure we clear it before we move on. We're supposed to be here, but we need to clear the negative energy.
Marsh is watching Ducky, and she goes, "Ducky, didn't you say last night that there was like a science factory here once? Do you think this is like,
Experimental.
yeah, do you think this is one of their like science machines?"
Well, I mean, they were studying life after death. So this could be one of their factories. I mean, it does kind of feel a little manufactured in here. It doesn't feel like natural energy, you know? You can feel that too, right?
Yeah,
Feels like
yeah,
something's been done to us, not something is happening to us. And there's a really big difference between those words.
yeah, like totally different words, yeah. And like, I don't know, I felt like something weird happened. Like I t had like a weird daydream, and it was like really weird because like it was about having a perfect life, but I was sad, so that doesn't make any sense.
the same thing. I thought it was just me because I'm so in tune with nature and the world. I am so surprised. I'm so congratulations.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
so happy for
maybe
you.
like hanging out with you and like getting into the energy tuning.
Or maybe, Candy says, there's something in that sage bundle that you haven't told us about, Ducky. This place is weird. I think we should go. Come on, Tiki. She grabs Tiki and they leave.
I can't
I th
believe her.
Before anyone else leaves, I think that given quite the performative speech about logic and reason that Snaps gave earlier on the beach, he doesn't want anyone to see that he is holding that stone with the symbol that he found, just kind of with his back to everyone else and kind of like looking at it as if he's expecting the room to show him something with this strange enigmatic thing.
I will note here that you all currently, just checking in on everybody, we do have a few conditions on the table. Um, the only way to clear them is with the dance party move, and because of because of your move, Bobby, you also get to find a clue as well. So you could maybe find your clue in that way if you don't want to do a roll in addition to clearing a condition, or we could just do a sensitivity meddling move.
Talk me through how a dance party move is going to look in this instance.
Just say you want to do
I
it.
I
mean,
mean,
of course,
we're like vibing
yeah,
with the energies in here, and it's
yeah.
actually kind of cool.
Mm.
All the lights flashing around. It's like
It's
a
the
giant disco.
60s, right? You
I don't
know,
know if a disco ball is an anachronism. It's a disco ball.
in this underground chamber, it might be.
The dance party move simply says you can have a dance party, but only if all players agree to it. You each invent a silly dance move for your character and then perform it. At the end of the dance party, say how it helped your character feel better about their circumstances and then clear an appropriate condition. The dance party move can only be triggered once per game total, except Snaps can trigger it again. Also, but don't worry about the circumstances. I'll take care of that. You just tell me if you all want to do it. The dance party is happening.
I've never wanted anything more in my life.
I will set it up for you first. No one knows how they got there, but the Hang 20s, a surf rock trio, are in the prism chamber with you. They wear matching tiki masks painted in neon colors, garish floral print shirts, and their instruments are adorned with fake palm fronds and plastic leis. They are Rip Curl Ricky on lead guitar, Tsunami Tommy on bass, and Crash Carson on drums. And they begin playing the song. And you all do what comes naturally. You begin to dance. Don't worry too much about why this is happening. Maybe it's just a dream. But in any case, what I need you all to do, and listeners or viewers of the video, if you want to follow along, we're going to go grab the song from our music player of choice. It is Surfin' Bird by the Trashmen. Go find that. And once you've pulled it up, give me a thumbs up and we'll hit play. Let the song play for a little bit, and then I want to see your dance moves. Remember, you're inventing a dance to clear a condition. If you don't have a condition, you still got to invent a dance. Here we go, and play. Tell me about your dance, Ducky.
I am holding the fake sage bundle, and wafting the good spirits into my face so that I can breathe them in, breathe all of the energy of the dance and of camaraderie and of youthful joy
What's it called?
The waft.
The waft.
Yeah.
Good. Fantastic. Let's keep going. What is your dance, Marcia?
Marsha's looking at herself in all of the mirrored reflections and she's waving at herself, and it becomes this little snappy move. And she starts snapping over to other people and she's snapping them in her little dance move, the mouse trap.
Fantastic. Let's keep going. All right, Bobby, what's your dance called?
I gotta say, I love this song. I love this song. This is called "The Stone at the Heart of Me," and Bobby is being guided by the resonance of the stone that he's clamped behind him, and he's never thought he'd say it, but he's starting to feel like he knows and understands Ducky and the others. Perhaps some more of Moondog's, perhaps more ridiculous statements. He's starting to feel they're resonating like this stone with him inside something deeper for the first time he's ever thinking beyond the surface and beyond the end of his own nose.
Fantastic. Think about what conditions are going to be cleared, and we're going to take a 10-minute break so that Matt can think about, all of you really can think about the red star, and we'll let Surfing Bird take us out. Okay, we're back. The group is back on the Pine Forest Trail. A little bit of housekeeping before we go any further. First things first, if we were going to play a campaign of public access together, the Prism Chamber is now unlocked in that campaign of public access by doing it here. Next thing is we have to define a clue from that scene because of, or you get to, Snaps, because of your move. So what is your clue?
I think it is in the glass panels in that room. Um, we saw flashes of a person who called out Mouse's name.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right, note that down. That is our, let's see, sixth clue.
What
Some more
question
housekeeping.
about clarifying that clue? Did they call out Marcia or Mouse?
Oh, that's a good point.
Or maybe we can clarify that when we theorize.
You can do it. When you do the answer to the question,
Okay.
you can
I
decide
tell you
that.
what, we all heard something different.
No, that's pretty good. Yeah. It's kind of horrifying if you think about like that happening while you're all dancing randomly in the scene and someone like in the image like crying out. It's very bizarre. What conditions got cleared? Snaps?
I feel like I'm no longer humiliated because anyone who saw that would have known that I can cut quite the dash on the dance floor, actually.
Indeed. And what did you clear, Marcia?
Marsha's, ever since this morning when we found out about Chet, something's just been weird and off. And Marsha's felt anxious and sad anytime she's around Candy for some reason. And you know what? She missed the dance party because she was being mean. And she doesn't feel crushed anymore. Forget her. I'm having fun with my friends.
Fantastic. That's good. Take control, Marcia.
Because I didn't clear a condition. I think I actually took a condition.
Oh, what'd you
I
take?
think I'm like from all the trying to like wafting all the spiritual air of this cave and all the prism air into my being. I think I'm a little bit intoxicated.
Oh, I like that. It's good.
I just wanted a condition.
You're on the Pine Trail. And you reach what is essentially like a three-way fork in the road. One part of the trail continues up, it's the main part of the trail, continues up to the mansion on the hill. You'll recall there's a mansion somewhere up on the hill. The trail splits and goes down, blessedly, down to the other side of the island, which people don't normally go to. You have no idea what's over there. And then there's sort of in between those two, there is a rough, grown over, much smaller, grown over path. I wouldn't even call it a trail, a path that kind of goes deep into the wood. What do you all do?
Take out my tarot cards and I do a 3-card spread, one for each of the paths, so we know what's going to happen down them. I think I pull cards. I don't. Okay, just for everyone's knowledge, Amanda doesn't know anything about tarot cards. I pull the Hermit
Okay.
for the left one.
I'm going to say that's
The
in the middle one, actually.
in the middle one. Okay, I pull the 7 of Cups
The mansion.
and the Knight of Swords. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
or the knave,
Page.
the knave, or
Page, the
page.
Knave of
Yeah.
Swords. Yeah.
Yeah, that can go to the other. That can go to the other path. Yeah. So what do you do?
Oh, I feel this energy. The this path, the Hermit. If you go there, you need to go by yourself. The Hermit is alone. You can take the dogs, of course, but I think the other 2 paths we need to split up. It'll be perhaps somebody go with Hambone, somebody go with Moondog, and we'll take these 3.
Hambone says, "I'll take the trail that goes down if you don't mind." He's kind of breathing heavily.
Is that the one with the cups?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
He's like,
We'll say it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the cups. It'll fill your cup of it'll fill you with energy. That's what I'm reading from this card. Filling up your cup, you will become more energetic. You will feel you're feeling exhausted, but you will find what you're looking for down this trail. Yes, I think Hambone, you should go down that one.
Hambone will take the trail down.
Snaps moves to the trail where the hermit's going, and he fixes Candy with a look, and he just says, "Sometimes you just got to walk this path alone, and that's my lot. So that's what I'll do." And
Moondog
he
says,
has
"I was going to say that." Damn.
that's probably the best compliment Snaps has ever been paid in his entire life. But I think he looks at everyone as if he's Clint Eastwood and limps because he's still bruised from the fall, limps down the path of the hermit. He's walking the path of the hermit.
Are you taking one of the dogs with you?
God, I hope so.
You
Bongo,
take,
please.
you take Bongo. Bongo will go with you. Fantastic. I think Candy decides she's gonna she's too freaked out by all this, and she's gonna just stay at the fork in the road. She brought a blanket. She's gonna lay it out, and she's going to paint her nails.
Okay. Mouse, Moondog, we've
Moondog
got to
says,
decide.
"Uh, the mansion it is. Although we can't just let Hambone go by himself."
Yeah, one of us should go with Hambone. Um, Ducky, are you getting any like energies from these cards about which one you want to do, or
The Knight of Swords, he is active. He is brave. He charges in with his sword to slay the things that are attacking his people. I feel drawn to that. I
Hmm,
feel, for some reason, I'm feeling very optimistic and energetic. I'm
that's
feeling
great.
loose and excited. I think I can do this. I think I will go with Hambone.
You're going with Hambone and Tiki.
Tiki.
And Mouse, you're going with Ripcord up to the mansion.
Okay.
And Moondog as well.
And Moondog.
Yes.
I think beforehand she says, it's really good you didn't say that about the swords until after Bobby had gone, or he definitely would have wanted that one. And then she'll head off with a Moondog.
Let's do our wavy flashback. Tell us about last year. Snaps.
So first night, um, spirits are a little high. People are starting to have a few drinks. The dancing's getting a little raunchier. The atmosphere is kind of heavy with pheromones and hormones, and there's a moment where Snaps is kind of off to the side, trying to look moody and introspective, even though he's no idea if that's what anyone's interested in here. And he sees Darla locked in an argument with Candy off to the side, and he's in such a position that he can move and get closer to hear the gist of what's being talked about. And what it is Candy is furious that Darla has brought someone else with her, and we can see that person in the distance, or Snaps can. Can't make out any details. All Snaps can see is the kind of the pulsing orange glow of a cigarette lighting a face in the distance. It's this shadowy figure. And all Snaps hears is Candy saying to Darla, well, if he's here, I'm leaving. And she storms off.
Interesting. Everyone else should describe what happened from their perspective.
Becky was also standing semi close to Candy and Darla, but the music was blaring loudly in her ears, so she didn't really hear the conversation at all. All she saw was when she turned, she saw Candy walking away and Darla looking broken-hearted, a small tear running black mascara down her face.
Marsha didn't hear any of the argument. She just saw Candy storming past her and heard Candy saying something about, I could see him, I could see the cigarette. And she was like, oh my gosh, Darla brought cigarettes? She's so cool. It's a shame Candy doesn't like cigarettes.
Snaps. You can follow this trail, you and Bongo. To what appears to be a weather-beaten shack in the woods. You can see from the outside a bunch of kind of patchwork repairs. What do you do?
I think the first thing that Snaps does when he's not being watched and there's no one to impress or in some way look good in front of, he actually does the sensible thing and calls out, "Hello, is anyone there?" And then waits, and if there's no response, he'll knock.
There's no response then either.
In which case, I'll slowly push the door open.
This weather-beaten shack has rough-hewn walls of kind of, salt-encrusted weathered wood. These patchwork repairs, layers of them. There's a faint aroma of wood smoke and fish mingling with the smell of musty fabric. Let's paint the scene, everyone. What strange personal effects scattered around the shack reveal unsettling glimpses into the mind and lifestyle of whoever calls this place home?
There's a really old photograph of an American football team, but kind of like the old school kind of Leatherheads, kind of late 1800s vibe. And every single one of the faces of this team portrait have been carefully removed.
There is a small collection of porcelain dolls sitting on a ratty old couch. All of them are missing their eyes.
The porcelain dolls have uh, pieces of paper sellotaped to each of them, giving them names. There's Princess, Hungry, Space Out, Moneybags, Cassandra, and Squeaky.
You got to do the move. I'm sorry. um, I think it's late enough in the day to trigger the night move here. What do you afraid is going to happen right now if you lose your nerve snaps?
Thanks everyone for making this so creepy that I have to make the night move. I my What I think is going to happen is the resident of this delightful abode is going to come home and take umbrage to me poking around their personal effects.
Oh, it's worse than that. Bongo is going to run back to the rest of your group, trying to play catch with the body part of yours. If you wish to continue, you can roll. Otherwise, you can run back to the group.
Let's do it.
Composure.
Ten.
Nice. Let's talk about the other side of the island. Much faster journey. By the time you get there, the sun is just like in your background, Amanda. It's about that low over the water. And you find yourself in the hidden cove. Gentle waves wash onto pristine orange colored sand from the light. Protected by tall moss covered cliffs, creating a sheltered lagoon that glistens under shafts of light. Soft, cool sand yields comfortably beneath your feet, like stepping onto a hidden paradise crafted just for you. Hambone says, "This is incredible. How come we don't throw the party over here?"
I don't think anybody knows about this space. Look around. This is virtually untouched. This is nature as it's supposed to be.
Let's paint the scene, everyone. How do you know this hidden cove has long been a refuge for those seeking privacy, peace, or safety from the outside world?
I think there are things strung up at the entrance of the cove so that when you walk in, it makes a tingling sound like wooden chimes. So that if anybody comes into the cove, there is notification.
There's a stack of stones and pebbles, all just going one at a time, inside the cove. But each one is clearly been added much later. The one at the very bottom is so weathered and moss covered, as if each person who came here and found sanctuary thanked the place by adding one more.
And building off that, there is a tree that's perhaps been kind of riven by a lightning strike or something. It's kind of like burst open. But on its reverse side, there are sets of initials and dates, or just the second two numbers going back many, many years of people leaving their mark without revealing too much.
Ducky, what do you do?
I hmm. I think I want to look around for any sign, like if people leave things here, or if there's anybody that looks like they might be um staying here permanently, that sort of thing.
Make the meddling move with reason. I think intoxicated might be a problem.
That's a 6.
A 6. Hambone and Tiki are kind of like running up ahead on the beach, right? And kind of splashing, and Tiki's barking and Hambone's kind of like, splashing water and at her, and Tiki's running around in circles, and you're busy like trying to look and see like what's happening, what's going on, what is this place? And Hambone says, Ducky, take Tiki. I'm going to take a little splash inside the lagoon. And he starts taking off his Hawaiian shirt. And he's going to dive down into this little pool of water in the lagoon. And because of your pipeline move, I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to resurface. He dives in and he's kind of splashing around. And you can't really see him because the light is so low at this point, but you can hear him up ahead splashing around. And he says, Ducky, come on in. It's great. This is wonderful. The water feels amazing. This is the first time I've felt, I don't know, like I've felt okay ever since we found Chet. I mean, well, and ever since, last year, it's amazing. It's like all your troubles are just washed away. And then you hear just like a sort of Tiki begins barking. And Hambone just floats towards you, leaving a trail of blood in the water. He's face down.
I scream and I run.
Fantastic. Indeed. Marsha. You take the trail up to the mansion. At a certain point, the trail becomes like an actual like gravel road. This mansion it's really striking. It's like this sort of mid-century modern glass and concrete, thing. Very like of the time period, right? And you can see some lights on. There's someone there. Moondog says, looks like someone's home. Maybe they have a phone we can use.
That's a good idea. I mean, it looks like they're rich. This place is so groovy.
Marcia, money is not everything.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. No, I mean, obviously, what's important is ukulele music and
Money can buy you a beautiful home on the hill. It can clothe you. It can feed you, but it
yeah,
can't feed your soul.
right. It is good to be able to afford clothing and housing and food, though.
Right. And he plinks away at the ukulele.
Moondog,
Hmm?
did you see anything weird in the mirror room?
In the where?
Remember when there was that weird cave and it was all shiny?
And he's like, oh, oh yeah. That feels like it was ages ago.
Yeah, kind of. You're so wise, and I wondered. I wondered what you thought of it.
I I glimpsed what I think was a glimpse of the future.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like living on this farm, but it was like a sort of, you know, a farm where people came to chose they chose to come to live separately, to live off the land, to disconnect from capitalism and
Oh,
that kind of thing. And like I was like the center of this community, and everyone was dressed in like these like white, like little flowy, billowy jumpsuits.
oh.
And like whenever I would get up in the morning and walk out to the garden, they would throw flowers in my path for me to walk on.
That sounds so nice. And like, because you don't want money and everyone could wear the same clothes, that sounds perfect for you.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone was like so interested in hearing what I have to say.
That makes sense because you always have like such interesting thoughts. I really hope that happens for you, Moondog. I think all the people on your farm will be so happy.
Ripcord kind of gives a little bark. And indeed, you can see someone, the vague shape of someone, because it's all glass, right? Someone walking around inside the house.
Oh, I think. Hello? Hello?
Moondog says, let's just go up there and knock.
Oh, yeah. See, you're so smart. Oh my gosh. Let's go. And she'll kind of run ahead and knock.
Yeah. I think when you knock, it actually like pushes the door open
Oh,
and you can see inside the main floor of this home is like one big wide open space, right? There are Persian rugs, kind of velvet pillows and things, psychedelic posters, countless oddities like antique telescopes and ornate sun shaped mirrors. And there's this mingled aroma of incense and tea and something sharp and medicinal, like chemicals or exotic tinctures. And you can hear the soft strains of distorted music drifting from unseen speakers, interwoven with the ticking of a clock. The ticking is a rhythmic, out of sync slightly. Moondog says, "Should we go in?"
I mean, yeah, if we want to use his phone, we should find him and ask him, right?
As you step inside this space, let's paint the scene, everyone. Amid the eclectic furnishings, what bizarre or surreal objects hint at a fascination with exploring realities beyond the ordinary?
I think there is the slightly incongruous sound of a crab scuttling across the hard floor, and it's a hermit crab, and this hermit crab has made its home inside a glass skull.
There's one of the psychedelic art pieces. It's like pop art, but it's not just the kind of four copies with the different colors you would usually see. Each one of them is more and more distorted until the last face is almost like it's wearing a mask.
In one corner, there looks to be almost like a little photo studio set up with a blank screen and lights pointed ready for photos. But the camera set in front of the screen is old. It's an ancient old wet plate type camera. Um, and it looks strange and incongruent with the modern nature of the rest of the place.
You can't see the person speaking. They're somewhere deeper in the house, Marcia, but you hear them call out to you. Is that some of the kids who are down on the beach?
Yes, yes, hello. I'm so sorry to bother you.
It's no
But
bother at all.
well, thank you. My name's Marsha.
Just come in.
Oh,
Close the door behind you, darlings.
oh, of course, yeah, yeah, sure. Moondog, close the door.
Ripcord comes in and weirdly immediately goes and sits down on a large, like, velvet pillow, relaxed.
So we were wondering, if you had a phone?
You still can't see this person. He says, no, I'm sorry. I don't keep one.
Oh, that's a shame.
I don't like for the outside world to intrude upon my peace. Though you're okay. Would you
Oh,
like
well,
some
I guess.
tea?
Oh, oh, I would love some tea, actually. It's been a really hard day.
Well, just follow the sound of my voice, darling, and
Okay,
tea you shall have.
okay.
Let's back to the Red Star.
So this argument having transpired, the separately down the beach, Darla has returned to the main party and she is getting pretty loaded. She has mascara streaks down her cheek, kind of cherry red lipstick is started to smear every time she wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. And chatter is moving around the camp. And Snaps has kind of rejoined, still slightly distant and detached from the group. And someone finally plucks up the courage to ask her if if she brought Jamie Toombs with her. And when the name is said out loud, you hear this like, oh, I heard he robbed a bank. Oh, I heard he shot a cop. Oh, I heard he was in a gunfight like at 80 miles an hour down like I-5 or whatever. And there's all these like rumors and Darla is laughing at their ridiculous nature until she realizes that someone is, in a very real sense, accusing her of being the Bonnie to his Clyde and demanding she explain the last year of her life and whether or not it has been lived in a life of illicit crime with this apparently fresh out of jailbird.
Fantastic. Well, everyone else. Well, just to back up, say again, Matt, what the group accused Darla of doing. I might have missed
So
that.
they accused her of all these rumors about this Jamie Toombs character
Right.
who she has brought along with him.
Yeah.
They accused her of being in on whatever he's been doing, but it
Oh,
escalated out of like just rumors.
yeah. So then, Ducky and Marcia, did you go along with that or not?
I did a natal reading on Darla to get her astrology. And it says that she's actually not likely to go along with that kind of thing, but she is supposed to go through a period of turmoil at this time in her life. So I feel like this is just something that she's overcoming. So I'm just going to leave it alone.
Marsha thinks that if she really was dating an older boy and doing crime, that's like actually really cool, but like also really bad. Um, and at this point, she's still trying to establish her place in this group. She's still hoping that Ducky will be her friend. So when Ducky says she did this reading and it seemed unlikely, but maybe she did, Marsha's going to go along with it, even if she's not too sure she believes it.
I think there's even probably a moment where Darla specifically looked at you for backup, right? Like, support me here, and you didn't. Snaps, you're keeping it together inside the shack. What do you do?
I am looking for anything useful that might. In fact, I think I'm looking for specifically something to arm myself with.
Oh,
This seems
interesting.
like a kind of like a
Yeah.
groundskeeper's cottage type thing. Even if it's just a, pitchfork or something, I'll take it.
Make the meddling move with reason.
8.
You're looking around, and you hear from behind you, "What are you doing in my house?"
Snaps turns slowly to face whoever it is.
You see an old man. You might even recognize him. Maybe he's come to town on the ferry every now and then. Old Gus McLean. Weathered skin deeply etched by sun and salt. Eyes sharp beneath bushy brows. Clothes stiff with dried seawater and pine sap. I'll repeat myself. What are you doing in my home?
Look, I mean, harm. Me and my friends, we're lost. Another one of our friends had an accident. They're down on the beach. We're looking for somewhere that's got a phone, any way to contact the mainland. That's all we want to do. I mean, harm. I don't want any
Your
gestures to the
dog
doll.
is hiking on my bed.
Get down. And I kind of look at the dolls to kind of make sure their eyes aren't following me. I'm like, you've done a nice job with this place. There's no way I'd want to steal anything from here. Just like I said, we're looking for some way to contact the
Let
mainland.
me guess. You're one of those kids who came over on the ferry. Have your little party down on the beach, huh?
Of that, I'm guilty.
Weren't you one of those kids that found that girl drowned last year?
And Snap says, I heard about that, but I wasn't here.
Oh, okay. Well, what's going on? You look a little shaken, like you've seen something.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on around here, and we're just spooked. And like I said, we just need a way.
Define weird stuff.
Well, I mean, finding one of your friends turned inside out on the beach is a pretty rough start to the day, and since then it's gone rapidly downhill. Now, I don't believe that any of this is any supernatural founding, but there's others in the group that are, a little less tethered to the real world, should we say? And I'd like to kind of get them out of here safely if I could.
Your clue, you see that Gus has a glove. He's got gloves on, and he's clearly trying to take them off and put them in his pocket so you can't see them. That's your clue. And he gets really close up to you once that's done. You kids think you know this place, but Wolf Island don't reveal herself that easily. And she's greedy to boot. You stay too long, and she might just decide to keep you. Maybe she decided to keep your friend. Maybe she's gonna keep you. How are you feeling right now?
Very unnerved.
Take
And I can't
unnerved as
tell
a
if it's
condition.
more from Gus or the dolls.
Take unnerved as a condition. You got your clue. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna make while the going's good, and I'm gonna abandon my search for any kind of like armaments, and essentially just follow the dog straight out and go back to the trail where it walked off, and hopefully find Candy still there. I'm sure she's fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Ducky, Candy hears you screaming as you run up the trail. She's like, "What's going on? You're scaring Tiki." Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, because Tiki's with you, right?
Yeah. Hambone, he was in the water, and then there was blood, and then I just ran. It was so scary,
Well,
Candy.
what do you mean he's in the water? But is he okay?
No!
Why did you try to help him? Say that again, Amanda. You got
He was dead. He was okay one moment, and then he was dead the next moment, and I just ran.
his body could be floating out to the ocean right now.
And I could be with him if I go into that
We have to find someone. We have to find someone to help us. And I think at this point, Snaps, you and Bongo might be coming up the trail. You can hear the commotion. What do you do?
I'm like, what's happened? Like, where's Hambone?
Hambone's dead.
He's dead, Bobby. He's dead.
Fuck. And I think Snaps then says, God, I'm going to be so pleased when the plans that my father's company has come to fruition and this whole goddamn place is leveled and turned into a resort. Um, like, has anyone found any way of getting out of here? Where's Mouse?
Well, speaking of, Mouse, you and Moondog step into this part of the main floor that's behind this, like, kind of like the fireplace acts as a partition, right? It's a two-sided fireplace. And you go on the other side of it, and there you see a man who's wearing a silk robe in iridescent shades of blue and green, kind of like a beetle, draped loosely over his shoulders. And it's like kind of open. You can kind of see his bare chest and his underwear, like kind of underneath the robe. And he is draped across a chaise longue, and he has like kind of salt and pepper hair. He's handsome, older, and he's smoking from an ornate hookah, staring at you with heavy lidded eyes, staring through you, past you even. Welcome to my home.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize you want, sorry.
Oh, excuse me. I did. Sometimes I'm so accustomed to being by myself. And he kind of pulls his robe tighter. Would you and your friend like to smoke the hookah with me?
Um, Masha definitely is wanting to see what Moondog says before she says anything. She's just watching.
Moondog shrugs and says, "Sure, I guess so."
Yeah, like, seems cool. Yeah.
He sits down on a little cushion next to the hookah and takes one of the pipes, and he's like, "Oh, mm, uh, it's really nice."
Okay. Um, so, yep, I know what to do with this. So and she just takes she just like sooks. Yeah, it's good.
Well, I
Yeah.
suppose we should become acquainted with each other. What's your name, darling?
Masha,
Marcia. That's a lovely name. And what's your
thanks.
name? And he says, Skip, but everyone calls me Moondog. Moondog. That's a name for the universe, wouldn't you say? Moondog. It's a spiritual name. Moondog, Marcia. My name is Sunny Gitano.
Oh, it's really nice to meet you, Sunny.
So, what brings you up to my home?
Well, to be honest, um, it's getting kind of scary down there on the beach. Oh, one of our friends, he died.
Oh, how tragic.
Yeah, yeah, and we don't know who did it, and we're scared. We're scared. I'm scared. I'm pretty scared, actually, Sunny.
You have to just let these things flow through you, dear. People die all the time. Perhaps your friend is in a better place.
Um, maybe. I guess. I guess. I just think maybe I'm not like ready to be in a better place. Like I'd like to maybe in this place, or some maybe not exactly this place. Like obviously, but maybe like alive. And I'm a little bit worried I might be dead if we don't get off this island.
How did your friend die?
We don't know, Sunny. We woke up in the morning and he was just dead.
Oh, that would be a bit of an imposition on your day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it like totally killed the vibe, if I'm honest.
I'm so sorry to hear that, dear one.
Thanks,
Well,
Sunny.
I suppose then you're trying to figure out who killed your friend?
Well, yeah, I guess that would help. Yeah.
Marcia, Moondog. He takes a drag. You need to look at this from a different perspective. Reality is terribly limiting, wouldn't you say, my lovelies? Perhaps the answers you seek lie hidden within the questions you dare not ask. Or perhaps, dear hearts, those answers are waiting patiently for you here, in the pipe, ready to be drawn in and blown out into the world. The real question is, do you have the courage to inhale essential truth, my sweetlings?
Um,
Nod
so
your head, yes.
okay, yes.
Then inhale deeply and let your mind expand. Let your mind roam.
Um, okay. Can I do it like a bit less deeply than the first time? Or
In for a penny, in for a pound, my dear.
right. And she's gonna take it and
You can do the meddling move with sensitivity here.
not my strong suit. Let's see how that goes. I rolled a 3 and I have a -1, so do.
Oh yeah. it's it's not going great.
Mm.
You are just like you are out of it. Your mind is like whatever he's got in this stuff. Your head is spinning. The colors are swirling. Moondog is like passed out and like kind of writhing on the cushion. Sunny Kitano is just sitting on his little couch, kind of like laughing, kind of sleepy eyed, and everyone's having a good time. Are you having a good time, darling?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like I'm so worried like all the time, and like actually it's kind of like everything is fine.
He leans down and he whispers in your ear, well, no matter what you do, don't go over there. And he points across the way. at a room cordoned off by a beaded curtain.
Hmm.
You mustn't go in there.
I won't.
Good girl.
The second he turns around, I'm like, Moondog, shh, you gotta go over
Moondog's out of it. I don't think Moondog's coming back from whatever this is. He's like, I'm just riding the wave, man. I'm riding the wave and it's riding me. It's incredible.
there. That sounds so cool. Don't tell him I'm going over there, okay?
Indeed. I'm going to give you a condition. How are you feeling right now?
She feels um lifted. Like all these worries weighing her down, man. They're not so bad. Just lift up. We're on the top of the hill and everything's beautiful.
Uh, Emboldened as a
Ooh.
condition as you boldly stride toward the room you are definitely not supposed to go into. Let's pick back up with the rest of the group. What are you all doing?
Who went up to the house? And this kind of snaps is demanding to know.
Process of elimination, Robert.
Who did she go with? Because I mean, at this point, I don't know who's still with us in terms of on this mortal coil.
Well, I went with Hambone, and Hambone died, and it was really, really scary and awful. So clearly, the only two people left are Marcia and Moondog.
Should we go and find them? Should we go up to the mansion? Or should we just wait here?
I think we should go save them. Because what if something up there is scary? Because I didn't. I. The card said we were supposed to split up and go down the different. So I suppose this was meant to happen.
Well, the cards almost just got me skewered by some like creepy caretaker with a room full of dolls. So
It was
like,
supposed
What
to
about
happen.
Hambone's body? He's just in the ocean right now.
It's supposed to happen this way. Okay?
I don't want to be callous, but I feel like Hambone is the lifeguard's problem, like Coast Guard's problem. Like, let's go up to the mansion. Let's just try and get indoors. Like, it's the night's drawing in. Like, they have to have a phone. We have to be able to reach the mainland from there.
I agree. Weirdly enough, and I hate to admit it, but I agree.
It's good that you agree with me now. There's just one option. So yeah, let's go.
The two of you, Candy, and two of the dogs begin trudging up the path. Candy says, what about everyone else on the beach? Do you think they're safe? Shouldn't we warn them?
I feel like we've got our own problems right now, Candy.
I'm going to go back. Someone has to warn them. Someone has to tell them that something happened to Hambone, and someone kidnapped Marcia.
I think Snaps grabs her by the wrist and says, "No, you'll be safe with me. I mean,
Are
with
you
us.
sure?
Do you fancy what? I mean, I saw the guy who was living in the shed, and if he got hold of you, then, we'll be picking up bits of you for weeks.
Wait, so you saw the killer?
I mean, killer's a little strong, but, he's definitely on my list of suspects.
The situation is so lame. Ugh.
Look, we're almost there. Let's just go. Let's just get up there.
Marcia, you press forward beyond the beaded curtain. You find yourself quite suddenly in a room dominated by a massive sun-like mural painted in vivid reds, golds, and oranges spiraling outward. There's a profound silence in this space. occasionally punctured by whispers in a language you don't recognize. There's a sharp metallic smell cut by something warm and sweet like cinnamon, and you realize that the way in or out is now not entirely clear. Let's paint the scene, everyone. What about this place makes us think we're not supposed to be here right now?
It is extremely cold. Too cold for humans to spend long periods of time in. It is not meant for somewhere, so it's not meant to be somewhere people stay.
Similarly, in terms of a thing that would make you feel very uncomfortable to be there, there is this kind of like resonance that goes through you from your feet all the way to your skull, and you can feel your teeth vibrating in your head. And if you try and kind of clamp them closed, they just chatter and grind, and it's deeply uncomfortable.
My cousin showed me this thing once where you can put a vinyl on the deck and it goes backwards and it has secret messages about the devil in it. And I feel like this room is spinning like I'm on a record, but I'm backwards.
You have to do the night move here, Marcia. With sensitivity and at disadvantage because of your condition. What are you afraid is going to happen right now?
Um, he has a lot of like really nice stuff, and I'm starting to feel kind of nauseous from all the spinning. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna puke all over this nice man's special room.
Oh, it's worse than that, Marcia.
Oh no.
It's worse than that. Your friends will be going up to the mansion to collect Moondog and Ripcord because you never existed. Please go ahead and roll with sensitivity -1, disadvantage.
That's a 5.
I hope Moondog's okay, guys. I mean, he's got Ripcord with him, right? He'll be okay.
We'll take care of him. And we're going to
Yeah,
go up there and we're going to find him and he'll be totally safe. It's Moondog. I mean, he's got such a good head on his shoulders. He can read situations like nobody else.
he's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool. I think
Is he though?
I think Moondog's like the coolest guy.
I wish all guys were as cool as Moondog.
Hambone loved him. Poor Hambone. He was also really cool.
He was kind of like funny, you know?
Yeah, he was always like eating all the time.
Aw.
Hambone.
And Chet. Gorgeous, beautiful Chet.
Oh, Chet. Oh my god, this weekend sucks. This is the worst weekend ever.
I feel like you are confusing being high, having abs, and eating chocolate bars as like a suitable replacement for a personality. I'm more concerned about finding ripcord.
Oh, Bobby, everyone has their own, like, advantages and disadvantages. You, for example, apart from your disadvantages, your dad is rich.
It's true. You're really rich.
You're really rich. You should be proud of that.
You know, when you're rich, you don't need much of a personality.
That's a good point.
That's the cruelest thing anyone's ever said to him. It's so horrible. Um, we must be nearly there. Yeah. I'm begrudgingly just trudging off ahead. I just can't
Indeed.
deal with this.
Indeed. Marcia, who never was, please describe the moment when you realize that you're not meant to be here.
Those voices are whispering, and I don't understand them. And everything's spinning, and everything's cold, and my teeth are chattering, and this isn't right. This isn't right. We were supposed to be having a fun weekend with my friends. And I'm supposed to wave goodbye to my husband and kids and then stand in that house, but that's perfect future and it just doesn't seem like anything's right here. I'm there's not right. There's something there. There's a tiny hole in the bottom of the mural. And I could just crawl through there and find where I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm gonna do.
We'll take a 5 minute break. Michelle, you can decide whether you're going to mark the red star and rejoin us.
Nah, I'm off actually. Had enough.
We'll be back in 5. Marcia, are you going to be marking the red star?
Yeah, I think so.
You were going to narrate a flashback to sunset on the beach last year when Darla, drunk and high, began dancing by herself. What about her dance made it seem like she was not long for the world, that this was her way of welcoming oblivion? Everyone else should describe how it made them feel to see Darla's lonely revelry. If you're ready now, you can, Michelle.
Everyone's competing to show that they have the best taste in the coolest music. They're all trying to find the best surf rock to dance to. And someone puts on a record and it's a thumping beat and the singers are so cheerful and it's singing about sun and sea and sand and surf and the guitars are pushing forward. It's such an energetic, happy song. It's perfect. It's perfect for us all to dance to. And no one really remembers it because just as they were getting into listening to it, they noticed Darla slow dancing, waltzing around alone at the edge of the water. She's waltzing to a song that's in 4/4 time. It's out, it's wrong, it doesn't fit. And every now and then she dips her imaginary dance partner down, 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 right to almost touch the wave coming in, jerks them back up until she almost topples over. And then she begins that waltz again until everyone is just standing still. The music, that happy song that no one can hear, playing only for her.
How did it make the rest of you feel?
Pink Snaps, who, given his family and their probable political views, probably felt like that if she was the criminal that people said she is, then she deserves to serve an appropriate sentence. in a penal institution. But there's something about the way that she dances and something about the way that the sun frames her on that at sunset, and something about the fact that in the distance we can see seagulls kind of congregating on the surface as if they're about to pick some carcass clean that's floated to the surface. There's something about that that tells Snaps that what those people said isn't true, and this is not the fate she deserves.
Watching her dance slowly, her feet kicking up in the waves as they break on the sand, Ducky is envious. Darla seems in her own world, but at one with the waves, at one with the water, at one with the air and the sky and the stars, and seems to be at peace with it. Ducky, who has been searching for some sort of connection with the world, some sort of energy to feel at home, to feel at place, to feel like she's part of things and belongs in this universe. Ducky is just envious.
Thank you, everyone. We'll flash forward a bit. Marcia, I'm going to give you a condition called the Red Star. But you're all together again in Sonny Kitano's room, or not where he is, but like in the kind of front room, where Ripcord never has gotten up from his adopted dog bed. Tiki and Bongo join him. Moondog, still very out of his mind, says, "Where's Hambone?"
We lost him. We lost him, Moondog.
You
He's
mean like
gone.
he got lost in the forest? We should go
No,
find him.
he went into the water and then he died. But
Oh.
his energy has moved on, just like Chet's, is now out in the universe. And they will guide our decisions and they will help us be safe. I know it.
Ducky, Ducky, he died. He went into the water and he died?
He was happy. He was happy just before he died. He said he'd never been happy like that, not in a long time. He was happy, at least. He was happy. That's how we all want to go, right? We all want to be happy.
Hambone dying's a total bummer. We gotta figure out what's going on here, you know?
You're so right, Moondog.
I think I'm gonna puke.
It's okay. I know you're scared and sad. We're all scared and sad. We just need to breathe in, breathe out. Just we need to align all of our chakras and make sure we pass all of the negative energy out and bring the positive energy in. We've asked this guy if he's got a phone, right?
At this point, Snaps
Yes.
grabs a goldfish bowl and tips it onto Moondog to kind of like
Snap him out of it.
snap
Yeah.
him out of it.
I'm sure Marsha's not in the greatest headspace either.
Ducky, you were the only one with Hambone.
I know, it was so scary. And Tiki tried to go in the water too, but I stopped Tiki from going in the water.
Candy says, "So someone killed Hambone, but
I don't
you
know.
managed to get away?"
Hambone was in the water and he was very happy and he was talking about how happy he is. And then he just
Come to think of
was
it,
dead.
come to think of it, didn't I see you walking around on the beach last night after everybody else was in bed,
I was
Ducky?
doing a meditative walk. I do it every night. It just so happens that was a night we were at a beach, so I get to walk on the beach to do it.
You said you were doing readings last night, but you let me borrow your cards to look at the pictures.
Right.
And then you tried to save my life as a cover up, as a ruse for what you really did. It was a distraction.
Really did what? What do you think I did?
Well, you killed them, obviously.
What?
Oh my gosh,
I would never. Marcia, look at me. Look me in the face. Look me in the eyes.
Didn't you bring a
Okay?
knife?
because there's like 4 of you.
Just look at one of me and no, look deep into my eyes. Look into my soul. You know I could never. I could never.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. I'm so sorry, Ducky.
It's okay, Mouse.
It's just been like a really long day, and
I know your pupils are so big right now.
yeah, yeah, my pupils are big,
Yeah, they're huge.
just like my sadness.
Moondog says, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you went down the trail with Hambone and Tiki, Marcia and Ripcord and I went up here. Snaps, you were by yourself.
I wasn't quite by myself. I met a local personality, we should say.
A likely story.
Well, if I told you what actually happened in that shack, it would get less likely, I think you'll find.
Guys, I don't know what's going on. If Hambone was here, he'd be trying to make peace between all of us right now. He was a cool dude.
Why is it always the cool ones that have to die?
So whose house is this anyway? Candy says.
Um, there's Sonny Kitano. He's like really cool. Oh, I hope he doesn't die because for being cool. He's a good guy.
It's kind of a weird place, don't you think? I mean, what is all this junk?
I think he's kind of far out. I think he's like a mod or something.
Hmm. She kind of slumps down into a beanbag chair. Well, someone just tell me when you've figured all this out, because I am not going to go back home and have everybody looking at me funny for a whole year because 2 of our friends ended up dead on this trip.
I think Snaps is going to go. Is there like an upstairs? Maybe I could go and explore.
There's not.
Or
There's just a
there's
single
not.
floor.
Okay, single
Yeah.
floor. I'm just going to go and try and look for a phone anywhere or
You can do
a flare gun even.
you can do the meddling move with composure. I think unnerved will put you at disadvantage, however.
Six.
6. You're roaming around the house. And even though it's one big room, he does have a lot of like kind of folding screens, partitions. So you do find yourself like kind of turning corners here and there. And you find yourself in a little corridor, quite separate and away from the rest of the group. It's dark. Not just because it's dark outside now, but also because there's no light here. There's no windows. It's just like a dark little hallway. And at the far end of it, you hear. What do you do?
I grab whatever is nearest in the hallway, a vase, anything, and arm myself ready to fight back.
This is the night move. What do you afraid is going to happen right now?
Um, Various parts of my inside body are going to be on my outside body.
Feels pretty bad. I'm not sure how
Yeah.
worse it is than that. This is going to be with uh, vitality, I guess, based how you've described your reaction, and at disadvantage because of bruised and unnerved for that matter.
A 7, luckily.
You stand your ground, and whatever it is not there anymore. How are you feeling, though?
I think trending towards terrified.
Indeed. Just change unnerved into terrified. I'm not going to make you mark the red star. And when you join the rest of the group, you can all see that Snaps is like white as a sheet.
Did you smoke the hookah too?
No, I did not. And
Oh,
I
that would have been
think
pretty cool.
at this point, Snaps will share the Polaroid that he has had on him this whole time. And he's just kind of muttering to himself, monsters aren't real, monsters aren't real, monsters aren't real.
Wait, you're saying there's something in the water?
I think it's everywhere. I think it took Chet, I think it took Darla, I think it took Hambone, and I think it'll take us. We need to get out of here now.
But then
It's
how could Sunny live here for so long if there's a monster around? He
That's a
doesn't
great
seem scared.
that's a great question, Sonny, wherever you are.
Sunny, you haven't seen Sunny in a minute. We don't know where he is.
Mm.
oh, well, he said he doesn't like outside people. Maybe it can't get inside this house. Maybe we're safe in the house.
Or we've been lured to this house by some guy who's drugged us all and is going to kill us one by one. Maybe that's a more feasible theory.
But why? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, look around. This guy's rich. He doesn't need to murder people.
He could just be a fucking lunatic for all we know. Like, most rich people are, present company excluded.
Meaning yourself. Do you all want to try to answer the question now?
I think this seems like an appropriate time.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's review the clues. You have a set of rusty shackles that was beneath the pier. There were claw-like marks on the wood of the pier. A Polaroid of the surf showing something large rising up. Chet's favorite comb was tangled with someone else's hair found in the burger shack. A polished stone very cold to the touch, inscribed with a strange symbol. Flashes of a person who called out Mouse/Marsha's name in the glass in the prism room. Gus McLean has gloves that he was trying to take off so Snaps couldn't see them. You could get one more clue by doing the dance party move if you wished, but otherwise, let's work on an answer.
I feel like one last dance party.
To clear a condition and to define a clue. You all know what to do. You gotta think of another dance. Go pull up Surfing Bird. If you're following along, you're going to want to go ahead and press play on Surfing Bird right now. Ducky, tell me about your song or your dance.
I am blocking all of the negative energy that is coming my way from my view, from my face, from my life, and I'm pushing it all away so that I can bring in the good energy that is full in this house. You can tell by how positive the experience has been since we've been in this house. Nobody's died. We've all felt really good, except for Mouse trying to throw up. But otherwise, it's been wonderful. So I think I call this Sunny's dance.
Marcia, tell us about your dance.
Marsha's sure there's something in here that's going to help, so she's sniffing out the clues.
The sniff. Snaps, what's your dance?
This is called the Transformation, and it's based on the island's name of the wolf, and includes a prowl and a howl.
Fantastic. The Hang 20s are there. They're playing like crazy. They play the last few notes. Bum, 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 bum. Woo! And everyone kind of claps and cheers. Yay! What clue did you discover in all that, Snaps?
Kind of feel like I want to put my thumb on the scale, but it's,
Do it.
it's really going to
That's
put
the
my thumb on
purpose.
the scale.
Do it.
The clue is some ripped clothing. Just very simply, some ripped clothing.
Interesting.
And I think if everyone will entertain this, that Moondog is a werewolf.
Because it's called Moondog.
His name's fucking Moondog, right? The set of rusty shackles is how they keep him contained. The claw-like marks on the wood of the pier. The Polaroid of the surf showing something large rising up. I think he's a semi-aquatic werewolf. Chet's favorite comb tangled with someone else's hair. I think it's the werewolf hair.
Does it
Yep.
match Moondog's? Yeah.
Polished stone, I think, very cold to touch, is the strange symbol is like ancient from the island, where this curse of the
Maybe it matches
island.
something he wears.
Yeah,
Like he's got like a little like leather, like
or a tattoo he's
medallion.
got or something.
Yeah, or
yeah.
tattoo. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Flashes of a person who called out Mouse's name is one of his previous victims, I think, trying to warn us off, who's trapped in the prison room. Gus has gloves on that he's trying to take off so Snaps can't see them. Like they are shark bite gloves, the chainmail ones that can't be bitten through, because he's essentially Moondog's handler. The ripped clothing is transformational.
Interesting. So then what happened to Hambone? He just died by accident.
No, I think he was
He didn't wait long enough after eating to go swimming.
classic.
So he just got hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Poor clumsy Hambone.
You're supposed to wait half an hour.
Although it does fit up with your premonition, right? Which was someone was going to get really badly hurt by
nature.
Nature, right? Yeah, so
Because Candy did not get
Because Candy
hurt.
did not. Yeah, it's true. It's a pretty good theory. I think you can also flesh it out by saying that like no one knows where Moondog lives in town. Like that would be an interesting angle. Like he kind of is on the island. He's like an islander. Interesting.
And to really like make it horror movie, like every single song he's played on the ukulele in American Werewolf style has Moon in the title.
Oh, good. Like Moon River and like it's pretty good. Yeah. Wow.
May I posit something to add
hmm
about the prison room? I think that Sonny Kitano is aware that there are werewolves being held on the island, and maybe even welcomes it because it keeps people away.
Oh.
And I think that this prison room is related to his looking into other realities. And as you said, it's a version where, maybe Mouse saw the werewolf and saw the victim shouting out to her that we got a glimpse of.
Oh. Wolf Island. Wolf Island. Moondog.
I wonder, because we all heard different names of Mouse or Marcia. I wonder whether the realities were from like the future, someone who knows you in the future as Mouse, someone from the past who knows you as Marcia, and it's kind of this splintered reality.
Intriguing. I think that hits every clue, right? Yeah, I think that's really terrific. It also kind of like it sort of like fits in with like Gus's behavior too. Like weirdly kind of fits into all of this, right? Because he's like saying how, oh, it'll keep you here if you're not careful. It there might be some truth to these like weird wolf legends of Wolf Island, right? And Moondog is just like the latest example of that. Very interesting.
It
If I,
plays into Sunny too, because Sunny just being this weird, creepy, cryptic person who lives in this big house on the island, having guard werewolves makes perfect sense.
I think we don't know exactly what his deal is, but I think the Gus Moondog werewolf, I think that all makes a lot of sense to me. Especially if we add in the detail of like the stone matching the symbol of like of a tattoo or something that Moondog has. It's a flat roll. Who wants to roll it?
I really don't.
You came up with the solve. I
You
think
came
you've
up
got
with it.
to.
You came up with it.
You still got one more red star to bump it if you need. So,
That was going to be my next question.
yeah.
9.
Would you like to bump it to a 10?
Yeah, do you think we shall we? We should. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get the full Red Star experience.
It'll make the resolution a little easier. So, fantastic. Anyone can do this one, since technically for answer the question, you're kind of all marking it. But it says, Darla's body was found the next morning. The story you told the authorities was that she drowned after swimming in the ocean by herself at night. Whoever's going to do it, narrate a flashback to what really happened to Darla.
Amanda, do you want to do it? You think you're the only one who hasn't done one?
I don't have an idea though.
Who wants to decide Darla's fate? Do we have a twist here?
Did did she get mean girled by the other members of the group who were accusing her of those things? And I wonder whether like they confronted her on the beach and we variously saw it from different viewpoints.
Well,
And
Candy was already angry at her, right?
yeah, and there push came to shove, and shove came to punch, and punch came to she fell and hit her head on a rock, and then it became relatively easy to push her out to sea. But I think from Snaps's perspective and why he was so freaked out about the Polaroid is that he watched one of the other mean girls very nearly get pulled under by the shape under the water.
So Candy and some of the other girls pushed her off the pier and then just kind of ran and pretended like nothing happened. Marcia, were you part of that group or were you not?
Marsha didn't push Darla. She didn't. She definitely didn't. Was not involved in the pushing. Yeah. She was on the pier, but she wouldn't have pushed somebody. She was just there, and she turned and she saw that cigarette light again. But this time she could see properly that Jamie Toombs was never here. It was a strange, gruff man in gloves watching.
Candy says, it was me or her, right? It was me or her.
I mean, she was being like really like erratic, and you know, like she might be like a criminal. She could have been dangerous.
But
Right,
she's a good swimmer. She'll be able to swim back. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We should just go.
right,
Y-
right.
Yeah,
What what are we going to tell everybody else tomorrow though if, you know, if she doesn't?
She'll
she'll
be
she'll
back.
she'll definitely come back. She's really good at swimming, right?
She's a
She's so
really
good
good
at
swimmer.
swimming. Yeah.
It's not even that deep.
Indeed, indeed. What's this moment like? Do you confront Moondog with the truth of what's going on? Like, what do you all do?
What's the moon doing is my question.
Oh, I think it's out and bright silver in the sky. You can see it very well from the wraparound glass windows of this space.
I'm up for trying to confront this guy mid-transformation if everyone else is.
I think I think you'll see Moondog's already slipped out. He's like he ran out in a hurry. The front door is still flopping from where he like pushed it open really violently and fast. You see down in silhouette, like kind of on the grass of Sonny Gitano's lawn, kind of going down the hill, you see Gus McLean trying to grab on to Moondog and like trying to like hold him there, and you just see the silhouette of Moondog ripping Gus McLean's throat out. Just a spray of black blood arcs in the moonlight. And Moondog runs down the hill. What are you all doing?
What are the dogs doing?
Oh, they're going crazy. They're like barking their heads off. All of them. Even Bongo, who's never on point about anything.
I think I'm locking the doors. This doesn't make any sense. Nothing in Moondog's moon chart said anything about this. This doesn't make any sense.
No, no, because no, he's nice. He's gonna start a nice farm. He he wouldn't do this. You're right. We have to stay in here. We have to stay in here. He won't be able to get us in here, right?
Candy says, I don't know what's going on, but maybe it was Moondog who killed Darla last year.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Right? It was
Because
Moondog.
she should have been able to swim back. She should have.
But she couldn't have if there was some crazy monster. I mean, if Snaps is right, if he changes into some kind of monster, maybe it's like some kind of like schizophrenia thing or something. He goes nuts, or I don't know. But that's probably what happened to Darla.
Snaps, I can't believe you're right. That is what happened to Darla. Snaps, what do we do now?
Snaps, you figured it out. That's what happened to Darla.
And Snaps, knowing full well that that's not what happened to Darla, and having seen full well what just happened, sits down and takes the big block of Moroccan hashish out of his pocket and sticks it in the hooker and fires it up. And he's like, "Do you know, I've never gotten high, and given that we're not going to see the morning, this is our last chance." And he just sits and tokes.
We can't just sit here all night while Snaps gets high. This is insane. We have to we have to we have to get to safety or something. We have to make sure we can tell the authorities that it was Moondog that killed Darla. And Chet as well.
Right. And Chet. And probably Hambone, right? Like there
And
was
Kennedy, why not stick that on the heap? Why not?
Snaps. There was some time where I was hanging out with Sunny and I had no idea where Moondog was. He easily could have sneaked away because it was a really confusing time.
This is all a confusing time. Like the best chance we've got is lock the doors, grab the sharpest thing, and just let's just see if we can get to sunup. Like, the sun kills vampires, right? Or is it no, silver bullets? I can't remember.
I think we have to chop off his head. Isn't that how it works?
Well,
Here,
we
let
might
me
be
just-
okay unless we invite him in our own house. That's a big thing, I think.
Oh, maybe that's why we're safe in here. And I think we see Ducky also taking a big puff of the hookah and arming herself with a fireplace poker.
I think I would like to go on a farm and start a farm one day.
And she takes the hooker and she takes a very small.
Candy says, All right. And she sits down. She says, "So whose house is this after all?"
Just like a dude. He's just a guy, you know?
Yeah. Maybe he killed Darla.
Oh, heck.
No, it was Moondog. It was definitely Moondog
Yeah, it was
who
probably
killed Darla and
Moondog.
Chet.
Yeah.
And Hambone.
And Hambo.
Well, how did he kill Hambone?
With
Yeah,
his
and Hambone.
monsterness.
All yeah, Hambone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that guy outside he just killed, we just saw it.
Oh, and that guy. Who's that
Oh, yeah,
guy?
yeah, who
I
even
don't
was that?
know.
That's the guy with the dolls I was telling you about.
The
Oh,
dolls.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
dolls. It's fucked up.
that's creepy.
Feels like
May-
the only normal person on this whole island is like us and the guy who owns this house.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like the only normal ones. Oh, wait, do you think we should do something about our friends on the beach?
oh yeah, everybody on the beach.
Should we? But I am sleepy.
Indeed. You hear, even from way up here, you hear screaming down on the beach currently. What are you all doing?
You know
Is
what
it?
I think we should do? I think in like 5 years' time, we should all meet up right here to like, commemorate this moment and see how far along we've come and just because I mean we're not all friends, right? And we're not going to be all friends tomorrow. I mean, me and Mouse are going to be besties, but
Yeah.
We'll be friends 5 years from now. We're gonna be. This is the kind of situation that like bonds you, you know. And she like
Yeah.
puts her arm around Mouse. Like this is the kind of thing that like, you know, like we're stuck together, you guys. Even you, Bobby.
Yeah, totally. Candy, you like fashion, right? What do you think about like white jumpsuits?
Well, not after Labor Day, of course, but
Oh yeah, oh that's a good point. We can work on it. Hmm.
do you hear that screaming?
Oh,
Snaps has got a record on and he's turning the volume up slowly higher and higher.
oh my gosh, I love the Hang 20s. Yeah.
The dogs from all the ambient hookah smoke are like passed out, not reacting to anything going on the beach. And the night passes. And here we shall do our epilogue for Beach Blanket Body Bag. Epilogue. Find it somewhere. No matter how the opportunity is resolved, every player narrates an ending for their character. How are they changed by the events on Wolf Island? What is it like when they go back home? What does the future hold for them?
I think we see Snaps a few years into the future in that nice house in a nice neighborhood with the nice white picket fence. He has this picture perfect living room. It's Christmas. Tree is there. And if we were to kind of take this freeze frame, there would still be the Christmas dinner, the turkey dinner splattered against the wall, and a wife that we don't know or recognize is gripping a carving knife tightly, and Snaps is muttering to himself, looking at a strange stone with a symbol that he doesn't understand in the palm of his hand.
the TV in the background is on. We zoom in on the TV and we see Ducky with a 1-900 number underneath it, and a list of different services that she provides scrolling up the screen, and tarot readings, astrology readings, natal charts. It's got everything, and it's just a picture of her looking very serious and mystical with a crystal ball in her hand. and a bunch of sage in the other one. And this is actual real sage this time. Um, and it's yeah, call now for your own personalized report. Calls are $9.99 per minute.
Marsha, no one calls her Mouse anymore. People just call her M, actually. She does not have a white picket fence or a husband or kids, but she's got a cool girlfriend who works in a record store. And there's this really, really new band on the scene here in the mid 70s that they're really keen to go see play called Susie and the Banshees.
I wonder whatever happened to Moondog. Did you all like tell the authorities or like what happened?
They wouldn't believe us if we did.
Hmm.
We just said everyone drowned.
Wow. All
But
the
I
other
think-
party goers drowned.
Chet drowned so hard his insides came out.
Yeah, it was wild. I think that we do see in the future, and it says 5 years later on the bottom of the screen, we see a hand that is covered in various kinds of mood rings and bracelets and beads, signing some invitations to Wolf Island and sending them, putting the names of the four of us on the thing, inviting us back to the island for our 5-year anniversary.
Fantastic. That's Beach Blanket Body Bag. Thank you all. We could wrap up with some stars and wishes, some thoughts about the game if you have any, and then yeah. But at a high level, it was a lot of fun. I really had a great time. It was kind of worked exactly how I hoped it would. So no notes for myself there, which I'm very happy about. But no, it was really really great.
Yeah, I big props for the dance party move. Big fan of that. It's so weird. It's so different tonally from everything else that the Gauntlet has really put out, but it works so well in this sort of genre emulation. It feels like we suddenly burst into a music video, and it was it was really really good. I'm glad we were able to get two of them in there because I
Yeah.
felt like that was a really good way to end it right before the answer the question.
Well, those old beach movies, like they're often like that, right? Like
Totally.
it's almost like a musical, like song breaking out for some reason. Like it's a similar thing. Like they just start dancing, right?
Yeah.
You know, like a dance.
It's kind of like
party's just happening.
Bollywood, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
it's
just
very
suddenly
that,
it's happening. Yeah. So I greatly enjoyed that. I'm very happy that Marsha had a happy ending. I want to protect Marsha with my life. Marsha and the dogs were like, no, nothing bad can happen to them. And I'm very happy that Ducky and Snaps had shitty endings because they're just shitty people. It was just really, really good. Really good epilogues. Really excellent red stars all around. They were extremely creepy. I'm glad we found out what happened to Darla at the end, though. Can't believe it. It was Moondog.
Yeah, that was yeah, a star for the resolution. I thought that was great. Weirdly enough, believe it or not, I actually didn't even like think of the werewolf implications when I named the character Moondog. It didn't even occur to me. That was just a pure like, kind of weird subconscious synchronicity thing going on. But it worked out great for the solution. So that was amazing.
I really liked. Yeah, I had a really fun time with this as well. I really liked Michelle's doll names when she came up with the kind of the versions of us. That was really fun. I feel like I've been trapped in a kitchen with Moondog at several parties in my entire life. He's the kind of guy who'll corner you there. We did say it in the chat, but Science Factory is just funny. And yeah, from my point of view, I really enjoyed playing in the scenes and listening to you all being awful towards Snaps and me thinking, yeah, Oh shit, that is me. I've got to say something back now. And it's just really difficult when you're playing such a douchebag to actually like, to carry on. But I really liked. I kind of thought that the kind of just smoking until the sun came up resolution might be a bit too like comedic, but I think we made it
I think it
work. And
worked. Yeah, I think it
the
worked.
epilogues,
Yeah.
like kind of gave us that coda on that. I think I'd really like to play this again with the map because obviously like felt a little bit like we'll go here to go there to go there. It'd be cool to have the map and get it out and all say, oh, we're splitting off and kind of doing that thing, give it that kind of between vibe of everyone off doing their own thing a bit more and being a bit more separated and isolated. Because I really liked it when we had the three paths to go on. And that was really fun. And Amanda, top star for putting the tarot cards out and interpreting which way to go. I thought it was really fun. But yeah, I had a great time.
Oh, I just thought of another quick star, sorry. For Jason for Sunny. The second the sun-shaped mirror was mentioned, I was like, oh, it's fucking Sunny. Get ready for some cryptic bullshit. And I love it. I love it. It's so
Yeah,
good. You gotta have a Sunny. And
naming
his
him
name is
Sunny.
Sunny.
His name is Sunny. Yeah, naming him Sunny was like me being very not at all subtle.
No, it was
Well,
beautiful.
I mean, to be fair, like probably like 75% of the people who will eventually pick up this game won't get that necessarily, right? But since you played the between and stuff, you will. Um,
I
uh,
also really love the moment where it played into a room opening in public access. That was killer. That was really great.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and also that I forgot to mention it, but that Sun Spiral room opens up in the between if you play a campaign of the between, right? I actually like did it in reverse with our bad spot campaign, and I put that room in Ren's path, but
Yeah, I was like, I remember someone
yeah,
coming into this room before.
yeah. But no, so if you play this and then you find that room, there's special circumstances under which you can find it. If you find that room, then you get to use it in the between, and the other room you can use in public access. So yeah, um, but yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy with the pacing of everything. I was really pleased with that. I was really pleased with the um, just structurally. I was really pleased with it. Like I just was, it all kind of worked out great. It's going to end up being like in total, minus character creation, like about a 5 hour experience, which I think is about right.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think I have any other thoughts. Um, but this was just great fun. It was really enjoyable. So thank you
Can
all.
I give some stars?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, please do.
Um, I mean, yeah, I agree. This game's super fun. I will echo my love of the dance party move, not just because it's hilarious, though it is, but also in horror games sometimes there's a temptation to break the scariness by just being silly the whole time. So I think it's really nice to have a mechanic to get the sillies out. And then that gives you space to like lean into the darkness, which I think like that resolution perfectly encapsulates that. Like, yes, it's a bit comedic that we just stayed in the house, but actually it was really dark
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's
like
kind of grim,
horrible
the
of
implication.
us
I
to
mean,
do that.
because like also you all like were accessories to a murder and like
Mhm.
or at the very least a manslaughter and like
Yeah, and
and
like cheerfully jumped on the opportunity to get away with
yeah,
something else
I
we've
know. Yeah,
done
like
and
just
like
blame
rewrite the
Moondog for that
past.
too.
Yeah.
You know, like 'cause they were all kind of bad people, right? Like so
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it
not sure
was
Marsha deserves a happy ending, and I'm not sure if she'll get one or if she'll just move on to following
yeah.
someone else's subculture one day. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that made it a
so
very
star
grim
for that.
ending. It made the ending like even though it was like kind of a comedic ending, it was a very grim, like
Mm.
bleak almost ending. Yeah.
So yeah, gotta do a star for that. Gotta do a star to Amanda for like the way that Ducky just lent more and more into their like the universe wants this to happen. This is fate. It's definitely fine. Was really great. Like it was very good to see that like very character informed breakdown. It was very specific in a way I loved. Um, I've got to give a star to you, Matt. Like I said before, like the escalating cringe of snaps brought me so much joy. But I really felt that like this time around there was something to him being like, "Am I the only sane one here?" Like it kind of as things went on, it started to be like, actually, no, he kind of is right. Oh no, it's like that Onion article, heartbreaking. The worst guy you know was right about something.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was really great. And yeah, started Jason for the idea that Moondog's future could have been being a cult leader, because that just really sent me. I was so glad I asked Moondog what his vision was. Won't go do it now, though, will you, buddy?
No,
Stick
not
on
going to do it
being a
now.
werewolf.
No, although I have to say, the answer to the question adds a sort of interesting retroactive, like color to that, right? Because it almost suggests that the people were worshiping him because of his monstrous nature, right? Which is suddenly that situation's a lot darker.
My
So
headcanon is that he does start the cult and it's a werewolf cult.
yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe they never catch him or something. Yeah, that'd be makes you want to
Yeah,
know
they're
what
they're
happened.
all wanting to be chosen to be turned into a werewolf like
Yes,
him.
exactly. Yeah. Pretty great. Anything else before we go? All right.
Yes, thanks again. This was great.
Oh,
Yeah, this has been
thanks for
delightful.
play testing it with me. I feel 100% confident in my game now, so that's great. I'm gonna hit stop. Actually, I'm gonna wave goodbye to anybody watching the video.